You need to mastermind with people who are just maybe one step ahead of where you want to be. Because you need to figure out how to move from brand new to doing consistent business. So finding an agent in your office that's maybe doing 1, 2, 3 deals a month. That's someone that has time to teach you and that's still at a point in their career where they're going to be relatable to you. Connect with that person and spend time with them. Get a coach. If there's any type of mentorship or coaching program in your office or in your brokerage, get into it. If you have to pay a percentage of your closings, get into it. It is worth it. It is 100% worth it. My mentor from when I first got into resale was the difference between me lasting in this industry. So find support and educate yourself. Put your head down and do the work.
Welcome to the BOOMLENNIAL podcast, hosted by the dynamic duo cousins, Chee and Dee. This podcast celebrates the synergy between a millennial and a baby boomer, showcasing the fusion of generational leadership, insights, and real-life experiences.
We'll unveil strategies not to just survive, but thrive as leaders in an ever-evolving world. Let's ignite the transformation we inspire to see in ourselves, our teams, and our businesses. Let's get started.
Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of the BOOMLENNIAL podcast, your go-to podcast for all things entrepreneur and leadership insights. I'm Chee.
And I'm Dee. And today we are discussing how to maintain your competitive edge.
Well, Dee, before we get started, I understand that you had a milestone last month. Your oldest daughter, Demi, started school. So how did that go?
Yes, so I almost lost it. She started kindergarten. So my baby is growing up. She actually ran on the bus. And so I started crying and she started crying.
Oh, gosh.
And so we had to, wave and stuff. So I finally got it together. So for all the moms out there, it's okay. We're going to make it through this one. But the good thing is I know she's safe and I'm just so proud to see her grow up.
Wow. And when she came home after that first day, how did she like that first day?
She loved her first day. She did tell me that she didn't like some pizza or something she had. So I'll have to talk to Cobb County about that. But anyway, she did enjoy her teacher. So I'm so excited for her.
Well, that is awesome. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you got through it. And just wait till they go away from college. A whole different experience.
Yes. Deeper in my pockets.
Yes. Dee, would you please introduce today's special guest to our viewers?
Absolutely. It's my pleasure to welcome to the BOOMLENNIAL podcast, the beautiful, take charge, take it to the top, Miss Keller Williams, Atlanta Perimeter Team Lead, Deja Matthews.
Woo! Welcome, Deja.
Welcome, Deja.
Thank you, ladies. I'm so happy to be here. So happy.
Yes. So a little bit about Deja. She was born here in Atlanta, Georgia. She graduated from Georgia State University in 2010.
GSU.
That's right. Go Panthers.
And she obtained her real estate license in 2015. She has worked with tenants, landlords, overseeing over 800 homes to manage homeowner associations, selling new home construction. And she also was a mortgage licensee in 7 states. Deja is currently the assistant team lead at the Keller Williams Atlanta Perimeter office. We are agents of the Rawls Group. Deja also enjoys spending time with family, hanging out, traveling with her 2 pups, Oliver and Phoebe.
That's right.
Welcome, Deja, to our show.
Thank you for having me, ladies. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here. I love what you ladies are doing here.
Thank you so much. So, Deja, can you share with our viewers and with me, because I want to get to know you a little bit better too, a little bit about your background? Like, what did you do before Keller Williams? And then what inspired you to get into real estate?
Oh, certainly. That's a good story. So I came out of college and I worked for AT&T and I went through their retail leadership development program, which is a very rigorous program that you go through and learn very, very high level leadership skills.
Okay.
So that was my first kind of touch into retail leadership, sales leadership. But I decided that the phone industry wasn't for me. And so, like most of us, I stumbled into real estate. I got a job as a leasing consultant at an apartment complex with Cortland Partners. And my assistant manager was licensed. His name was Jeffrey Flowers. I'll never forget him. So Jeff, if you're out there, I did get licensed.
Shout out to Jeff.
Shout out to Jeff. He would always tell me, you will be perfect. You should get licensed. I never did it. So I moved on to another property management job as an assistant property manager in single family.
Gotcha.
Got promoted, had to get my license in order to be a property manager. And then the rest is history.
Okay.
So I was a property manager for a while. I finally went on to do new construction. And that's how I found myself in home sales. And I will never look back. Best thing I've ever done.
Awesome.
Wow.
That is amazing.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Ever-evolving career, it sounds
Yes,
like.
I've done everything.
Believe it or not, I did leasing too. In my past lives, I've worked as a leasing consultant. I enjoyed that. I totally
Yes.
forgot about it until you
I'm
said
telling
that.
you,
though.
it's the path. So leasing agents, you
Yeah.
have a path right into real estate.
Right. And sales, Angela. You were
Right.
in corporate sales.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
See, it's a common thread. It's a common thread.
Mhm.
Yep.
So, Deja, do you have a mentor in the industry? Would you talk a little bit about your relationship and how you leverage relationships in general to maintain your competitive edge?
Absolutely. I have several mentors. I have a paid coach. And I think leveraging relationships and being in relationship with people who can help you be accountable, who can help you see your blind spots, who can help you plan ahead. Because a lot of times in sales and as professionals, we're running in the moment.
Exactly.
You know, we're putting out fires, we're selling, we're trying to make a living.
Right.
And so it can be hard to look forward to the future, to plan, especially for realtors to plan to get out of the business at some point, to exit the business. And so I think keeping a competitive edge, staying balanced, those are the reasons why it's so important to leverage relationships with a mentor or a coach. And I have several mentors, so many people that have touched my career from inside real estate and people that I knew before I even got licensed that I'm still in contact with. I was telling you guys before we got started, I have a cousin her name's Angela McBride, and she is my go-to for career advice.
Wow.
So just people, and she's not even in real estate. So people who are high performers,
Absolutely.
who you trust, who you love. It's just like, to me, picking out a therapist or a primary care physician.
Absolutely.
You might have to shop around.
Absolutely.
But once you find that person that you trust, that you can tell your, sometimes even secrets to, your goals, your dreams,
Right.
and they can help you chart the path to get there.
Absolutely.
I think that's golden, and it is absolutely key in keeping a competitive edge.
Good.
Wonderful.
Good.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And I mean, I think in this industry, because real estate is so multifaceted, I'm sure you have mentors for different things
Yes.
within real estate, right?
Absolutely.
And maybe, and now that you're in a team lead position, I'm sure that opens up another layer of mentoring needs.
Another level of help that you need.
Yeah. Get everybody.
Right. Absolutely.
Yes. Right.
So so that's a great segue. So how do you stay ahead in an ever evolving real estate field? So can you share some specific resources, books, courses, media, conferences, maybe that you just were recently engaged with, and how do you use those to sharpen your toolbox?
100%. So, Bob Kalinske, who started the Southeast region of Keller Williams, says that people who are high performers don't just go see what's playing at a theater near them. So when it comes to being competitive and attending conferences, go seek out the best and pay for it. I think that it's so important to stay educated. We are in an ever-changing industry, and I think in our society, pretty much every industry is changing rapidly, from medicine to sales to real estate. And so we're required to do, continuing education. That is completely baseline. That's just the bottom of, the totem pole. Go out and seek the highest performing people and get in their world, get in their ecosystem, attend their classes, take them out to coffee. I think that it's so important to go seek out the best, highest level education that you can. And that way you will stay abreast of what's happening. It's not going to stop changing. Our industry may look totally different in 5 years. And I think that is the beauty of it. That's what keeps it fun and exciting. And so seek out people, go out of town. I just came from Austin, Texas.
Nice.
Mega agent camp. It was a huge experience. It was so empowering. Aside from the lessons that I learned, the nuggets that I took away, the things that I can implement in my business, the people that I met, the conversations that I had, ideas that sparked just from having conversations with people from all throughout the Keller Williams ecosystem, which is all over the world. Atlanta is just a one micro market.
Absolutely.
You know, there's so much to learn from everybody else. So connect with people outside of your market, because I'm sure they have ideas that haven't even surfaced in Atlanta yet. And then you can be a trailblazer in your own market. So go seek out the best, pay for your education and make it a priority. Budget for it at the beginning of the year. Have an education fund to make yourself better and stronger.
I love that, because I am a strong believer that you have to invest in yourself. If you believe in yourself, invest in yourself. And when I'm listening to people that are truly at the top of their game, they take the time to invest in themselves, not just in their hair, not just in their nails, but in things that can also improve their minds and their skill sets.
And profits, because your mind and your skill set, all of that is going to lead to revenue.
Absolutely.
So it's all about making more money. You will get ROI. You're going to get your return on investment. If you invest in yourself on a professional level, the coins are going to come right back to you. And then you can have more money for hair and nails.
There you go. I like that.
And traveling.
Now, speaking of, real estate ever evolving. Now, last month, we actually just had a change that hit the market. And just so our viewers can be on the same page that we are on, would you share a little bit about the National Association of Realtors and the settlement that they had to settle and how that impacts us as agents and even our clients?
Yeah. So it's a change, but if you think about how business is done in the state of Georgia, it's not a huge change. There are changes to our documents and to some of our processes, but I think that number one, it's in the right direction. It's all about transparency. It's about making sure that both buyers and sellers understand the compensation, understand how we are paid. We work really hard for what we do, and we need to be able to articulate our value. We need to be able to help people understand what they are paying for and what we do. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's amazing that we're moving in the direction of more transparency in our industry, because only thing that's going to do is level us up as professionals. And in the public eye, real estate agents, unfortunately, are not seen, as the high level professionals that we are. I think moves like this help move us forward so that people will respect our profession because we work really hard. We are experts. We are economists. And I think that being able to articulate your value and having to have those conversations is going to weed out, number one, the realtors who shouldn't be making the money because they don't have the skill set, because they can't communicate to their clients what they're paying for and articulate the value. So it's all about transparency. You have to have a brokerage agreement before you can show a property. And it just lets buyers know what the deal is before they get into a situation where it's time to transact. I think it's a wonderful thing. I think it's going to move our industry forward. And I think it's going to push our profession higher to the top, because we are the cream of the crop.
Absolutely.
Like you said, we are economists of our market.
Absolutely.
Yep.
How do you think these changes will affect your communication and negotiation with clients, both buyers and sellers? And I guess more specifically, in your position within our company, you're communicating to agents and associate brokers. How do these changes affect that for you?
We're going to communicate on a higher level. It's going to sharpen our skills. We're going to become better and better and better because we are forced to. Because now there are questions being asked, valid questions by buyers and sellers. Well, why do I have to pay this? What does this mean? What am I paying for? I mean, we would all ask that question if someone asked us to stroke a check for, a few $1,000s. Like, what am I getting for this? So I think the conversations are going to become at a more higher level. The conversations are going to become clearer, more transparent. And realtors who are in this industry, who stay in this industry, are going to become better and better because we're now forced to have conversations that, in my opinion, we should have been having all along.
That's true.
You know, Dee, back on a past segment we did, which was the importance of getting it in writing, how that can really cut down on the ambiguity. You know, this is all that's doing, you know, and it basically should have been like that in the first place, you know.
Correct.
Whether you're a buyer or seller, you should know exactly what you're expected to pay, you know, and what you have to bring to the table.
100%, 100%. And then just like there's many other states, but Georgia has had brokerage engagement agreements since the 80s. So we have been doing business like this. Now, it being mandated that we have that agreement prior to showing a property is the biggest change. But we've always had this since the 80s. Georgia has been pretty transparent. But now, like I said, the process is now mandated as to how and when we get those brokerage agreements signed.
I love it.
I love it. And I think it will definitely add some guidelines to our clients, right? And so they understand that we're not just being, you know, grumpy or hard to work with, but there are rules and regulations that we need to follow to maintain, like you said, our professional edge. So.
Absolutely.
But you know, another thing, Deja, too, that, see, I was very big on anyway, I don't believe in doing a lot of work for free.
I know that's right.
And so my whole thing is, you're holding everybody accountable. We should be held accountable as the real estate professionals, but even our clients that we're serving, because a lot of times they might not want to sign an agreement, but they want you to start looking up things, you know,
and
for them. And that way, it protects everybody.
Your compensation, protect your compensation, and go ahead and get it out of the way. It shouldn't be, if we are, again, we're asking people to compensate us for these transactions. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to have a conversation and tell people how much it cost, why it costs that much, and what we're going to do and what you're going to get, the value that you will get by working with a realtor. So again, it's all going to move us forward.
Absolutely.
I really
and for a lot of people, it's their most expensive investment of their life.
It's real estate. Absolutely.
Want to have somebody professionally in your corner working on your behalf.
So. That person should have a thorough consultation to let you know what to expect before you make such a huge purchase.
Absolutely.
So, absolutely.
Correct.
All agree.
So you kind of talked about some support that you provide. Are there any training that you're providing your agents to ensure they understand new regulation?
Oh, yes.
And I've been in your training before.
Yes. Yes. So we have been every single month since we kind of got as much information as possible. We've been hosting the compensation 3-hour CE at our office. Rawls Group, just at Market Matters, released, the guidelines of what we're going to follow and kind of the steps. And we have a resource that Trey put together that is a 1-pager as to when to use which specific contract forms. So there is information available through FMLS, GAMLS, Georgia CE Shop. There's so many classes available. And if you don't have the education, that is not an excuse to make these mistakes. You will get fined. So again, like I said before, go and seek out the information that you need in order to push your career forward. This is not going to go away. So go ahead and jump on board and ride the wave. And while everybody else is running around scared, be on the forefront of this change and just embrace it and power through.
And I would just like to add, like in our office, and I'm sure most of the Keller Williams offices have the attorneys right there.
That's right.
And so they have actually been coming to all of our mastermind trainings on this. And they always emphasize at the end, come to us.
Yes.
If you or any of your clients have a question, don't understand something or not sure, don't try to guess, don't try to assume, ask us. So they're saying, put the ownership on us, go to the attorneys.
Yep. Another thing I'll add is stay in your lane. We are realtors.
Right.
And whatever your profession is, if it's time to go and seek out counsel and get an opinion from whether that be an accountant or a tax person or an attorney, let the professionals handle it. Just like we ask that people let us handle real estate.
Right.
If we need help with something that is a little bit out of our realm, stay in your lane, go get help. And in most real estate offices, not just Keller Williams, you have access to an attorney to ask those type of questions.
Absolutely. Well, I love that. Thank you so much.
And we had an episode, before you go to the next thing, we had an episode talking about teams.
Oh,
having a team as a leader,
100%.
you need a team.
Yep.
So whether that's attorneys,
Bankers, your CPAs. Absolutely.
So as a leader, period, you should have a
100%.
team. And again, to your point, as real estate professionals, we should have a team of folks that we can lean on or refer our clients to.
Absolutely. Right. When
Yep.
they come with questions that we just are not equipped to answer. Great point.
I
to
love
refer
that.
them straight to the professionals.
I love it. I love it. So with Deja, with several real estate agents looking to maybe exit the real estate market now because they're not feeling comfortable with the NAR settlement, what advice would you give someone who's just starting their career in real estate?
Let them go. This is great. Get them out of there. If you are just starting, you see people leaving, that's more opportunity for you. Less realtors means more business for you. And if you're just getting started, just embrace the change. If you're just getting started, actually, I think you're in a better boat than some of us that have been doing this for a while because you don't have to pivot. Just embrace it and move forward and just learn this is going to be status quo for you for right now. For us, it's a change. For us, we're having to do things differently. If you're new, you're really positioned perfectly to win. Just move forward, educate yourself and be a master of these changes. While some of the more seasoned agents are still maybe fighting and trying to figure out a way around it.
Exactly.
You will be moving forward, selling home after home after home because you don't have the time to worry about it. So if you're new, good for you because you don't have to think about this.
You don't have to relearn and reprogram yourself.
Exactly.
I am so happy that you said that because that is such a key point because even as, business owners, as Dee and I have been in the past, that's usually where you find a really tough, sticky point. It's usually the people that are more tenured that have the biggest problem because they don't want to relearn.
Don't want to change.
They don't want to have to change or whatnot. And the new people, they come in and they can just learn on the correct and new way anyway.
That's right.
So that's a very good point. I love that. It even helps me because I get asked that a lot too. Well, I don't think I should start real estate now. I'm like, this is the
best industry. This is a great time to start because you got people so distracted with things that truly don't matter.
Exactly.
We're still going to sell
worrying about
homes.
the wrong things.
There you go.
Right.
Worried about the wrong thing.
People still have to buy and sell homes.
And they will until the end of time and we'll be here.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That is awesome.
Nope, that's great. So Deja, how can you provide some more nuggets of how people earlier in their career in real estate can keep their competitive edge or ante it up?
Yes. Okay. So things that you can do, go to open houses, get around people that are doing business. Okay. So if you don't hang around all the new agents, I get it. You guys may be, in a class, you came in together, but you need to get around people who are doing business. You need to mastermind with people who are just maybe one step ahead of where you want to be. Because you need to figure out how to move from brand new to doing consistent business. So finding an agent in your office that's maybe doing 1, 2, 3 deals a month. That's someone that has time to teach you and that's still at a point in their career where they're going to be relatable to you. Connect with that person and spend time with them. Get a coach. If there's any type of mentorship or coaching program in your office or in your brokerage, get into it. If you have to pay a percentage of your closings, get into it. It is worth it. It is 100% worth it. My mentor from when I first got into resale was the difference between me lasting in this industry. So find support and educate yourself. Put your head down and do the work. Do the work. This is not a cash grab. You got to get up. You got to make phone calls. You have to prospect. You have to run a business. So put on that hat every day and know I have to get appointments. If I don't have anybody to talk to, I don't have a business, I can't make any money. This is not about taking pictures. This is not about social media. This is about social media is the proof that you're doing the work. That's not the work.
Gotcha.
So do the work, buckle down, understand it's going to take time, but if you are consistent, this business will change your life.
I love that. Our last question that we're going to ask you, and this is like when I got started, I actually got on a team with someone because I sort of wanted to learn and I would, do open houses for them. What's your opinion about teams?
I started on a team too.
Okay.
Wow.
You too. I think teams are great ecosystems for people. It's like an incubator. You have to have a plan though. A team is not a permanent plan. A team is not a permanent solution.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have a time period in which I have to go and do this on my own.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I love about Keller Williams and why I truly wish I came here first when I got licensed in 2015
right.
is that they teach you how to create a business, how to run a business, how to lead generate and not receive leads.
Right.
I think that when you're in real estate school, pre-licensure school, a lot of people are, for whatever reason, being told or under the perception that they need to get leads.
Gotcha.
If somebody's giving you leads, you're paying them for those leads.
Absolutely.
That's affecting your bottom line.
That's right.
If you learn how to generate your own leads, that's all your money. And nobody can ever take that away from you.
Mm-hmm.
So I love teams. It was what got me my start. I had fear about being 100% commission coming from, corporate America. I was like, I need my salary. So it allowed for me to make the jump. And be a business owner. So I think everybody is different, depending on what type of drive you have. If you think you need help with that structure, which I did, and you need help, transitioning from an employee to self-employed to a business owner. I think a team is a wonderful, wonderful way to get started. But just have a plan to exit it. And it's not for everybody. Everybody might not need a team. I know people who jumped out the gate, they had the discipline. They were on the phone 4 hours a day. They made the calls and blew their business up. That wasn't me. But, if whatever your path is, there is a way for you to get started in this business, to be successful in this business, whether you start with training wheels or not, just get started.
I love it. I love it. Okay.
Well, I didn't come in as a team. I'm still a individual and business owner. But in the commercial space, in our office, everybody is kind of doing their own thing. So I'm unofficially a team because one of my methods of learning was to assist other people. So a lot of times I'll be in the room when they're doing deals so I can learn from them. So it's not technically a team.
Exactly.
Right.
But I'll tell them like, hey, I'm Team Larry today.
Yes.
So what's Larry doing?
Right.
Connect with the people. And wherever you are, you can create a team. I think the idea is masterminding together and don't become dependent on the team as your lifeline for business.
Okay.
Right.
That makes sense. I love it. I love it.
Yep. Thanks, Deja.
Yes.
So, Chee, do you know what sound that means? It's time for our ATL segment. Ask the leaders.
Love it.
So this is where, Deja, what's going to happen here is we pull a question. Our viewers actually can email us questions that they would like to be read on the show.
Oh, cool.
And so that box there is called a profit box. So
I love that.
Because we go in business
something from the profit
to make a profit, right?
To make a profit,
Absolutely.
okay.
So if you would go, if you open that up and we have a few questions in there, just grab one.
Okay.
And do you want to read it or would you like me to read it?
Here, you read it.
Okay. I'm happy to. Okay, so this question comes from our viewer Kay from Rome, Georgia. Dear Chee and Dee, I love your podcast. Thank you, Kay. And the information you share with us. A friend of mine who is an entrepreneur shared with me your podcast that featured the couple who flipped homes together, Brick and Blondie. I wanted to state that the two hosts, you guys have great vibes and great energy together, and I appreciate the authenticity of your guests. That was a good show.
Yeah,
you remember that and everything. Thanks for the compliment, by the way. I wish you continued success with your podcast, and I will share it with friends and family. I am the founder and president of a business consulting firm. I have been in business for the past 5 years. In today's climate, many say it is a good idea to be a dual career professional. I purchased my first home in February of this year and thought my agent was great. So inspired and encouraged by my agent to take the real estate class, I passed the exam last month.
Yay.
Wow. Woo. So what advice do you have for young new agents looking for new trends? And who should we be connecting with? And where should we be hanging out? Would you like to handle that for us?
Yes,
Deja?
certainly.
Good question.
Okay, so identifying trends. Number one, you want to learn how to watch the market. So Rawls Group has an amazing event that we do every quarter called Market Matters, in which we go through all the stats from commercial, land, resale. And that's a really good way to just grab the information and be immediately ready to go out and have some conversations with clients. And you will be the economist of your market. Attending things like that, keeping up. Atlanta Realtors Association releases a market update every month. So start studying that and start pushing that information out. I think if you start communicating information, teaching people, and sharing things with your potential clients, then you're going to learn along the way. So that's what I would say as far as what you should be doing as resources. Who you should be hanging out with. I mentioned this a little bit earlier. You do want to spend time with people who are your peers, who are also new agents, because you all will be experiencing some of the same things at the same time. However, spend time with people who are 1 or 2 levels above you. So identify in your real estate office who is in the office often. Okay, so who's present in the office and who is consistently doing business. And I think that person can teach you what actions, what activities you need to be doing every day, how to build your schedule, which is one of the most important things, is how you allocate your time in this business and sticking to a schedule. And where you should hang out, there's tons and tons and tons of realtor events. And I also encourage you to create your own ecosystem. So when you want to find out who to hang out with, you need to be attracting people that can bring you deals. Other realtors are not going to necessarily bring you deals. You can do referral business with them, but for the most part, you need to be trying to find people who want to buy or sell. So where you should be hanging out is going to be new home seminars. It's going to be going to visit new construction models and engaging with those on-site agents. Those are people that you want to get that can bring you business, right? And so create your own events and then also attend some of the realtor events in Atlanta. I'll tell you, the key to that is building your team of vendors and networking with different closing attorneys, home inspectors, lenders, appraisers, people that you can call on when you have questions so that when you do need an expert, you know who to call and you have made those friendships. When you have a question or you have a challenging client, you have a friend that you can call to help you navigate that particular client or transaction.
I love that. Now, 2 other things come to mind for me is because I believe in referral groups. Now, so I'm a part of 2 different organizations where basically everybody is in a different industry.
There you go.
And so it's not just in real estate. So you have to hang out with people that they are also in industries where they need referrals. So that, it's a collaborative effort, whereas, I need you to basically refer people to me that want to buy or sell a home, but you may need somebody that it's, need to cut grass or something, so that we can be a referral source to each other. I think those lead groups like that are really good networking where you're helping each other. But also I like the thought of open houses too.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
How do you feel about participating in open housing with other brokers?
Absolutely.
Other real estate agents.
Go out and seek. I'm glad you brought that up. Go and seek out open houses that you can host. And that is where you can get into a relationship with some very high performing agents who do not have the time because they have so many listings. You host the open house for them. 9 times out of 10, any buyer that comes in unrepresented, you have the option to bring that buyer into your world as your client. And so that's how you can get buyers that are looking at a high price point. That's how you can break yourself into certain neighborhoods or certain communities if you know where you want to work. Partner up with agents that are already doing well in that area and bring something to the table, right? So if you're going to host an open house for them, you need to be able to, put out proper signage, do reverse prospecting, door knock, and bring some value to it so that they will want you to do it again. So when you ask someone to host their open house, you don't just pop up and show up 5 minutes before it's going to start. Put something into it so that you can really set in stone that relationship so that if, they may get a listing somewhere in an area where they don't want to work and may throw it to you. It happens all the time. This business is all about relationships. So if you do want to be in a relationship with other realtors, as you do, find people who are performing and make it a mutually beneficial relationship. Even as a new agent, you have a lot to offer. And the biggest thing you have to offer that other agents may not have is time, is your time.
Yep. Okay. And speaking of time, I can remember when I first came in the business in 2019, I was in Nashville, Tennessee, where I got my license. And the company that I was with, they would do a lot of caravans. And I enjoyed that because it, and if you don't know what a caravan is, who out there is, it's when, let's just say Deja and I are in the same office and she has a listing somewhere.
Yeah.
We all as agents will go go together with her and ride out. We all look at the property, and then we give feedback on it. But it was fun because it was a way that you get to see actually more properties, because this was actually a Dale Webb community that I went to, and I had never heard of that. Are you familiar with the Dale Webb? Right.
Yes.
And so that was how I got introduced to what a beautiful 55 or older concept. And so now, you know, when I go to certain areas, I'm looking for, I wonder, do they have Dale Webb type of communities? Because I loved all the amenities and everything they had to offer. But I got introduced to that by being a part of the caravan.
Exactly. You get out, you see inventory, you get into practice, you start having conversations. You just have to get out into the marketplace and do stuff, you guys. It's really that simple. This business is not hard. It's not easy, but it's so simple. You just do the things, do the work, stay in communication with people, have conversations every single day about real estate, and you will see the fruits of that over time.
I love that.
And one of the, I was going to say, as far as networking and getting with other people in the commercial world, like I target CPAs, I target business brokers, because guess what? There's always someone looking for a broker to help them buy or sell a business. And then when they need space for the new business, or they're trying to get out of the old business, who do they need?
You're top of
realtor.
Yep. And you're already there.
You're already there at the table. So those are some additional resources that you can use to target and to build your business, to your point. Like, because I had to start thinking, like, to your point, how do I use my ecosystem
to get in front of people?
Yeah,
absolutely. Have people referring me left and right, because there are people having conversations with your client every day.
Yeah.
And so get in relationship with those people too. And whether that be lenders, going into banks. Another thing I was going to note, there's caravans all the time at new construction communities. That's a really good opportunity to partner. People who sit on site with new construction, a lot of the times they can't list other properties. So if they have a client come in that has a home to sell and you are their buddy, they're going to call you. And that buyer also could be unrepresented. So build relationships with people who can bring you business.
I love that. I love that. That was truly a great question. And I just want to end this for the viewers for that question is, we're talking about networking. I have a little mantra on networking, and it's networking is always better than not working.
That's, I love that. I love that.
I love that. I'm still in it.
Not working. I love that. I love it. Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Kay, for that question. Remember, if you have any business or leadership related questions, please email your questions to CheeAndDee, so CheeAndDee @gmail.com, and your question may get read at our future episode. Also, please subscribe. Do it now. Hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel at BOOMLENNIAL Podcast, and follow us on all social media platforms. So we're on Facebook, TikTok, Insta, you know the drill. So follow us on everything, because if not, I'm going to request you, okay?
I'll find you.
I'll find you.
Yeah. Wow. Well, Dee, this brings us to another ending of an exciting episode. Thank you so much, Deja, for being our guest. I believe you gave us a plethora of information in real estate for everybody, wherever you are, whether you're a beginner real estate agent, you've been in the game for a minute. Yeah, you gave us some great nuggets, and we really appreciate you.
I am so happy to do so. Thank you guys thank you, ladies, for having me. And one more thing I wanted to add. Sure. Keller Williams does have scholarships for people who want to get involved in real estate. So if you want to get licensed, you can reach out to either of us and we can help you get enrolled in K-Score. So we love to bring people into this business. It has changed all of our lives. I think it's safe to say. And the gift of this business, I would be happy to give to you. So
I love that.
And how do they keep in touch with you, Deja? How do they find you?
You can find me on Insta. It's Boop, like Betty Boop. The Brain, like Pinky and the Brain. So BOOPTHEBRAIN. And that's the best way to find me.
Boop the brain.
That's it.
I love it.
Love it.
Wow. Well, to our viewers, thank you so much for watching us today. We truly appreciate your support. We're going to, as Dee said, please, if this episode or any of our episodes bring value to you, all that we ask is just share it with your friends and family, like us, and subscribe. And remember, we drop an episode of the BOOMLENNIAL podcast on every other Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please join us next time for our next episode entitled Empowering Small Businesses, Insights from the Small Business Administration's Office of the Advocacy.
Until next time, shine bright and do business right.
Bye.